my name is Guillaume Brunier and I'm producer on ZombiU, the horror survival game for the Wii U coming out this Christmas. The game takes place in London in 2012, and a major virus outbreak has contaminated the whole city.
Move if you want to live.
One thing that's really core to our game is that we want a realistic zombie experience. We want something that you've never played before. When your character dies in our game, then you don't get to play him or her again ever. You will only get to see him or her again as a zombie when you go after her and try to get your backpack back. It's really core to our experience because we want players to feel the tension of one life. That's this concept that we wanted to put in place. Realistically, what would you do? How long will you survive? In the team, we kind of miss these old school survival games where fear is at the center of the experience. We saw with the Wii U gamepad an opportunity to bring back that slow pace, scary moments into the survival horror genre. It's a bit hard, it's a bit hardcore, but really that's what we want to give as an experience for the player. When we first got our hands on the Wii U gamepad a while ago, we felt the potential in creativity that this device brought, and we said, okay, let's decide that this gamepad is not actually a game controller. Let's decide it's the survival kit for our players. The message we want to give to the players is, if you hold on to this survival kit, if you play correctly with it, then you're going to survive in our game. If you don't, if you just go run and gun, happy-go-lucky, you're going to die a lot. The first time we really hit something very, very interesting with the Wii U controller was our lockpick feature. Seeing your character on the main screen and the action being on the small screen created a real feeling of tension, and that at that time we in the team thought that we really touched something that would bring really a good feeling of tension. I think that's, if I remember correctly, that's the first time we said, okay, we get it, we understand what's the Wii U going to bring to gamers.
Hi, I'm Gabrielle Schrager, Senior Story Director at Ubisoft Montpellier Studios, and I'm the lead writer on ZombiU. So let's talk story.
I've lived in London, and the team spent a lot of time walking around the city to take in its unique flavours and atmosphere. And what we've created from that is a kind of sublime vision of the city, a creepy, apocalyptic, hyper-real version of London where hell is just around the corner.
Oh Lord our God, arise, scatter her enemies and make them fall.
We have a variety of locations in ZombiU that reflect the contrast of modern London, from the splendour of Buckingham Palace to the squalor of a ruined council estate. And where else can you meet a zombie Bobby, Beefeater, or even a Royal Guard?
It is 2012, and the Black Prophecy is about to be realized. John Dee foresaw the coming of the apocalypse 400 years ago, and now you're right in the middle of it.
Run if you want to live!
In ZombiU, we have three main characters, each of whom has a different approach to survival and interpretation of John Dee's Black Prophecy. The Prepper is your mysterious guide and mentor, a survivalist who saw the apocalypse coming and prepared. He's ex-army and no nonsense, and he will do what he can to teach you to survive and live to see the Black Prophecy realized.
Hey lad, over here. Come down into the station.
Sandra is one of the leaders of the secret society known as the Ravens of D. They have spent centuries studying John Dee and the Black Prophecy, and their aim is to help as many survivors as they can escape from London.
Sorry, that's all I can help with. I need to clear the other ramparts.
Dr. Knight is one of the Queen's doctors. He has survived deep beneath Buckingham Palace in the royal bunkers, where he's obsessively searching for the fabled panacea, a universal cure that John Dee died looking for.
Welcome. Do make yourself at home. But please, don't touch anything. This is all vital scientific work.
Dee was a fascinating man, one of the most compelling and mysterious people in British history. And so we created a rich, detailed mythology around his life and work for players to discover. What we soon realized was that the overall story of this game doesn't belong to the survivors you play. It belongs to you, the player. You're the one following the narrative from start to finish.
We also encounter some other survivors up Brick Lane and see how they managed to stay alive. These characters help keep us in the flow of the game. Each one of our survivors benefits from the progress of the last and pursues the endgame, like a deadly relay race, in the hopes that maybe one of our survivors will make it out alive.
To say with heart and voice, God save the King.
La nouvelle technologie apportée par la WiiU a drivé le projet ZombiU dès le début. Il nous a fallu apprendre à créer des émotions partageables sur deux écrans. Le joueur doit sans cesse naviguer entre ces deux écrans et ça nous a permis de créer un nouveau type de gameplay.
No cure, no respite.
Le kit de survie développé pour le WiiU Gamepad comporte plusieurs éléments. Il y a une minimap qui permet de s'orienter et également de voir des ennemis sur la minimap, etc. Il y a un scanner qui permet d'analyser l'environnement et de trouver des objets cachés ou des ressources indispensables pour survivre. Et il y a plein d'autres applications également, des documents qu'on peut lire, on peut crafter des armes, on peut faire plein de choses grâce à ce kit de survie. Dans ZombiU, le joueur peut laisser des messages à la communauté. Pour cela, il doit utiliser une bombe de peinture avec laquelle il peut laisser des messages sur les murs pour indiquer des passages secrets, pour indiquer des pièges ou indiquer des endroits où trouver des ressources. Et ces messages peuvent être lus par toute la communauté grâce au gamepad en utilisant tout simplement le scanner.
We wanted our basic zombie to be scary, terrifying, a nightmare for the player. We wanted an encounter with only one of them to be as scary as possible. On top of our basic enemies, we developed some special zombies, special infecteds. They are here to give the player variety in enemies he has to face. You can be surrounded by zombies. The main point is that you need to use your brain to stay alive in these kind of situations. The more you shoot with a specific gun, the more precise or the faster you're going to be with that weapon. When you lose your survivor, then you lose the skills that this survivor had. So you need to regain these skills again. We've got weapon upgrades, so you can find a silencer or you can find a bigger magazine. These you keep all along the story.
Stand by.
In ZombiU, the player evolves through wide-open environments like the exterior of Buckingham Palace, certain popular residential areas in East London, and the banks of the Thames River that lead up to the Tower of London. We design these open areas to give players the freedom to choose their own actions and find their own way through the world, whether they prefer to confront zombies head-on, if they've got enough ammo, or use their tools and smarts to lure zombies to their end. We also treat more intimate, closed interiors in an effort to induce feelings of claustrophobia, disorientation, and fear of darkness in players. we wanted to bring back the sensations of playing a classic survival horror game, where the player fears for his or her life at every step and around every corner. Players are free and encouraged to return to any map at any time to prepare better, stock up on resources, find secret passages, discover new weapons, ammo, and food caches, whatever it takes to survive in the terrifying world of ZombiU.
Welcome, ladies and gents, to the ultimate showdown. It's the dudes against the dead.
One of the very first idea that we had was to oppose one player with a gamepad and one other player with the Game Pro controller. We really wanted to have this asymmetric gameplay, and actually that's the very first idea that made us believe in the WiiU.
Survivors versus zombies.
The core of the experience that we wanted to provide was asymmetric multiplayer. What asymmetric means is that the two players are playing two completely different games. One of them is a classic shooter with a player that has typical weapons, guns and so on. And one of them, the King of Zombies gameplay, is more or less a strategy game of bringing zombies into the world, placing them strategically, spending your resources on them and thinking well about how to use them to defeat the other player. The King of Zombies gameplay has an additional advantage, the fact that it's really easy to get into. You can explain it really fast and then any of your friends can come in and fight you. ZombiU multiplayer has three game modes. One of them is about capturing flags on the maps. One of them is about the human trying to survive for as long as possible. And the third one, named Killing Box, is about killing as many zombies as possible.
From the very beginning, we wanted to create a great variety in the multiplayer. You get to play on closed environments, such as London Underground or a bunker. But you can also play on wide open spaces, such as a stadium or London streets. When you play as King of Zombies on the WiiU gamepad, you level up as you spawn units or kill survivors. With each level up, you get to choose a reward with which you can improve your army or destroy your opponent's defenses. Playing as a survivor with the Pro controller is incredibly fun too. There are a lot of weapon sets that you can choose from. Gun turrets and landmines are very useful when you're capturing a flag.
Point to the survivor!
As you kill zombies, you receive gifts from the crowd that might extend your survivability or might just erase more zombies off the level. In the multiplayer, you fight many types of units that you encounter in the single-player campaign. If it's sending explosive zombies, just keep the distance. If you're facing a speeder, remember to be constantly in motion. If you're dealing with armored units, throw grenades or Molotov cocktails to save ammo.
I think the survivors earned a small bonus, don't you?
Good luck, guys. Now you know everything about the multiplayer, so let's see how long will you survive.